Hi, thanks so much for joining us again this week. I know a lot of you will be putting the finishing touches on your application over the next week. It's due October 15th for everyone. Unless you're Canadian, you have until October 31st. So this week you're not really going to hear much from me. You're actually going to hear from a couple of current Morehead-Cain scholars who are going to talk about their application process, a couple of concerns that they had, and also some surprises that they encountered along the way.
Jokingly, my parents said it when I was 3 years old that they wanted me to be a Morehead-Cain scholar. Clearly, I have no memory of that. It was a very long time ago. But the first time I really started seriously thinking about the Morehead-Cain and when it kind of resurfaced in my life was probably my 9th grade year of high school. I realized that I loved Carolina. Both my parents went here. I loved everything that Carolina had to offer, but then realizing that there was the Morehead-Cain scholarship and there was so much more that was a potential option for me. That was really exciting.
I wasn't happy with the way it works in the UK where we have to study one subject from day one, so I explored other options and then a lot of universities in America came to mind, the academic flexibility one tends to have. And then I looked at ways to fund it and I stumbled across the Morehead-Cain. I read about it, I read what alumni got up to, what current students got up to, and I was amazed that something like that existed.
I was the first from my school who had kind of gotten as far as a semi-finalist in a long time, and no one from my school had ever actually received the Morehead-Cain scholarship. I'm from a very small town in North Carolina. My school had actually stopped nominating, so I had to self-nominate. There were all these things that seemed like potential barriers for me to actually get through the process. I didn't have a lot of preparation moving forward. I didn't have a lot of mentors to kind of lead me through that process. So I think that inexperience was the most scary thing, or the most thing that was intimidating to me. But then realizing once I walked into the room for my interview that these people actually wanted to get to know me and that they were having a conversation with me and were not trying to grill me or trying to make me be this perfect applicant. They just wanted to get to know me and the things I was passionate about was really relaxing during my interviews.
So I was a bit nervous in the whole application process because it's not something that's typically done in the UK. I didn't have a lot of help from counsellors or something. But in one way that was a strength for me because I had to focus on expressing myself in the most genuine way possible because that was the only way I was going to make that weakness into a strength. So it's important to listen to well-meaning advice from friends and family, but also to make sure that they don't influence you too much because in the end you want to be accepted for who you are and not for someone you're pretending to be.
During finalist weekend and throughout the whole process, you hear about these alumni that are doing these really amazing, great, wonderful things, and then you get to Carolina and you're like, oh, there's expectation for me to fit that mold of what a Morehead-Cain scholar is. But then you actually start realizing that Morehead-Cain scholars are interested in art and medicine and history, but also social justice and things that just sound super weird, like hiking through this one random trail in Panama, and they love it. And the Morehead-Cain encourages you to do those things and pursue the things you're passionate about. And so coming in, they kind of mold what they're doing for you to your interest rather than you having to mold yourself to what they expect you to be. And I think coming in, even though that had been said throughout the process, I was still surprised how true that actually is.
So the worry is when you come into university that everybody's going to be cutthroat and it's going to be super competitive, especially amongst the Morehead-Cains, but my experience has been quite the opposite. Everyone's in the same boat. We're trying to figure out a new system, how to answer questions at college as opposed to how to answer questions in high school, which may be much easier. So here it's much more self-directed, so as a result it really pays to work with each other and to be collaborative.
All right, thanks again for joining us. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're really excited to see your application soon.